cult classic, action movies, shows, and the artists who helped make them. This is Action Gems.
And welcome everyone to Action Gems. I am, of course, one of your hosts, Matt Kohler, and this is...
Hey, I'm Richie. How you doing?
Yeah, he don't really care. What he does care about, though, is about this episode, right?
This episode in particular, special one, because this one, well, we hyped it up in the last episode, but we're going to tell you, but because it's been forever, we're going to remind you, this is a special interview with Adoni's roommate.
Well, and of course, Adoni himself.
And yeah, Adoni too. Well, we actually have another, I guess, good hour that we talk with Adoni yet. Really about different parts of his career. A lot of it doesn't even have to do with Mortal Kombat, but there's a very special part that definitely has to do with Mortal Kombat. And it's probably the most introspective look we ever get to Quan Chi. Would you agree, Matt?
So stay tuned for the full thing, and we'll see you on the flip side.
So that's interesting. You talked to Jeff after you had talked to me? You had your interview after?
No. I had talked to Jeff last Monday. So yeah, about a week and a half ago.
Oh, okay.
When's the last time you've talked to Jeff?
Oh man, it's been years and years. Man, I mean, think about it. You know, his role on Mortal Kombat. Geez, playing both Raiden and Shao Kahn. I mean,
you know, at first you think when you're watching it, you don't think about it, but then talking to you or talking to Jeff, and it's just like, especially with you, how you were in, getting in and out of your costume for 4 hours. I wonder if the day for him was like he got into the Raiden outfit, and then like that same day got into the Shao Kahn outfit.
Well, when it came to his makeup, I think he had it kind of easy with Raiden. They just put a mask on him, right?
Yeah. So actually, yeah, and well, I'm sure you remember this, but I think it was fun to find out that he kept his head shaved for all of production because it'd be much easier for him to not have to wear a bald cap as Shao Kahn and then not have to wear like this sweaty wig as Raiden.
So wait a second. See, this is what I'm trying to remember. I don't remember him being bald.
Yeah.
I remember. No, I don't. He wasn't bald, was he? I don't think he was bald when we played basketball.
Well, you'll have to catch up with.
Maybe he wore the Raiden wig.
You'll have to catch up with him. Do your own podcast interview with him.
I know, that's interesting because I was thinking about that. I was thinking, wow, I don't remember him being bald. I don't remember being bald. I was the bald guy. I don't think he was bald.
You're getting offended by that.
That kind of pisses me off right now.
There can be only one on set. Adoni Maropis will get to the bottom of who is the bald one.
I'll tell you a funny story on set. The first time I was there, they gave me a car to drive around, which is really nice of Larry Kasanoff to do.
Yeah.
And so whenever we went out to eat, I would drive the girls or whoever. The second time I was there, they said, you all have the car. So, Renee and Jamie and Dana and me, we shared the car, but I still did the driving. It was like, we all have the car, Adoni, but we like how you drive. So we had to drive to the, what was it, the Warner Brothers lot? Is that where we're going? Yeah, Warner, right? Warner Brothers, right?
Yeah.
So we go in the lot, and I remember Renee sitting in the in the shotgun seat, and Jamie Presley's in the middle in the back. And Jamie's up front like this looking. And she always had this energy, and she'd like kind of dominate the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And we got on the lot, and it was one of these things where you get on a lot and you have to make all these turns and lefts, rights, whatever, and then you finally get to wherever you need to go and all that. And this particular time, we weren't working. We were just there to just look around and go on this, whatever, just go to the, what was it, a theme park or something? I forget. Anyway.
Yeah, Hollywood Studios.
Was it? Okay.
Hey, you're at Disney World.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's how I was thinking. We went to Disney World. I don't remember what we were gonna do there, but we were just driving around and
Yeah.
Jamie says, she goes, Adoni, make a left here. And I said, no, Jamie, I think we got to make a right. She goes, no, make a left. And Renee says, no, I think Adoni's right. I think we make a right. And she goes, no, trust me, make a left. I know what I'm talking about. And it's like, you have to listen to Jamie. That's the way she is. She's very persuasive, right? So we make a left. And of course, we get lost. We're in the wrong place. We don't know where the hell we're going. We start laughing. And I says, okay, we're going to find our way out of here. It was like this maze. And so I'm driving. Then we get to this other stop sign, whatever. It's like, we can go straight, left, right again. And I said, okay, this time we got to make a left. And Jamie goes, no, we got to make a right. And I said, I think we should make a left, Jamie. She's like, no, make a right. And Renee's like, no, I think Adoni's right. We got to make a right. She was like, no, trust me. This time I know I'm right. I know I'm right. So I make the right. And of course, we get deeper, get lost, and not recognizing anything or anywhere. We're laughing like crazy. Now Jamie's like, she's like, I'm going to get us out of here. I'm going to. We're like, yeah, sure you are, Jamie. No, she's great. She's a great actress. And I remember she had just done the Jerry Springer movie before Mortal Kombat. I remember that. And
Jerry Springer movie. Yeah. Yeah, that was her first movie, I think. And she plays, someone that she's known for playing out in the trailer park, kind of person. And Right. I just know there was a Jerry Springer movie.
yeah. I think it might be called Jerry or Springer or I don't know what, but
very creative titles.
Yeah. She could snap into that character like that, and yeah, she was something. She was something to see her. I was like, wow, gorgeous, beautiful woman who really talented, really talented. So yeah, she was something. Yeah. So.
Well, it sounds like it sounds like you guys pretty well just had a lot of fun on set, and like there was enough downtime to actually get to know each other, and that definitely elevates the scenes too.
You're saying there was enough downtime? Is that what you just said?
It seems like there was enough. There was definitely enough downtime for you guys to hang out.
Yeah, just like anything is. I don't know if you guys realize that. You do these movies like Hidalgo. Like I became really close with Viggo Mortensen in Hidalgo. We'd go horseback riding, we'd do whatever. But a lot of times, these it's like this corporation that comes together, and then it dissolves, and people move on and do their thing, and it's tough to stay in touch. Like I've called Viggo like a couple times after that. And we talked, but now he's living in Spain, and now how do you get his number? And you got to go through the manager, and the manager is going to say no and whatever. No one's going to pay attention to you. So it's difficult. It's like I used to play basketball with George Clooney, and I try to pick up a phone and call George. It's like, whatever. It's not that like that. You know what I mean? So, it's different, but yeah, it's a strange world. You get really close, and then you just go apart. And then when you see each other, hey, how you doing? That sort of thing. But,
pretty much. I mean, we'll have that. We've had that too. Working on Batman: Master of Fear, the prelude, the pilot I was telling you about that we shot 3 years ago this year.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people that had. There were some people that we had flown from out of state, and there were other people that were just living in St. Louis with us this entire time, and we were meeting them for the first time, and we shot for about a week and a half straight on that. And so we were seeing the same people every day for like 10 to 12 hours, and getting each day done. It was this very large task, and we're working together with all these people to just solve different problems that arise, or just make it as good as we can. And then it's like once filming's done, like the cinematographer, I have not seen that guy in the whole time since the end of filming.
And a lot of the actors, I mean, we saw them. The only other time we saw them was to get them back together again to film the next thing. 2 years later.
We have an actor on there his name is Raw Liba, and I mean, we've met him in person. What, a total of like twice?
2 times, yeah.
2 times. We haven't seen him in over 2 years, but still in contact with him.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, one of my dreams is, like George Clooney says, I work with people that I like. That's the key, because this business is supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
And I've yet to find that. Like every movie I've done, every show, there's always someone or a couple people that are just, negative or, not part of, like, I'm that type of person that I'm always welcoming. I want people to, everybody sit, let's all enjoy this food. Let's all come together. We're all one. And even when actually, there's a story for you. When I arrived my first day in Florida for, Quan Chi, I went to the set just to observe, it's like my arriving and, I show up and it was right before lunch. And I start talking to these two extras, these two guys. We're just talking. And I told them I'm here to play Quan Chi. Like, oh, really? Wow, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, again, I'm not really getting it. I don't know who Quan Chi is at that point. I don't understand it. So when they called lunch, I start walking with these guys. And they go, what are you doing, Adoni? I said, we're going to lunch. They said, no, you get the good lunch. The good lunch is over there. And I said, what do you mean good lunch? He said, well, we get, the extra lunch. It's not as good as the good lunch. I said, are you serious? They said, yeah. I said, that's all right. I said, we're talking. I'm coming with you. And so we're like the last ones walking. They said, no, but you should go. You got to get the good food over there. I said, it's okay, guys. So there's a woman there who's the extra herder. She's like the sheep herder, and she's going, hurry up, move it. You got a half hour. And like, I'm the last one in line because I'm following these guys. And I turn around and says, okay, we're going. She goes, you only got out. I said, okay, relax. And they're like, Adoni, you shouldn't be here. You got to be over there. I said, it's okay, guys. So we go to the lunch. And now I have to check my blood sugars. I got to give shots, I look at the food. So I'm the last one to get my food. She's like, you only got 25 minutes or 20 minutes. You got to hurry up. And I said, I'm sorry. I said, I'm gonna get, everything's fine. So, no, I didn't have to work. I wasn't an extra. I could stay there all I want. So I sit down to eat with these extras and I'm talking to them and she's like 5 minutes or something like that and yelling out. And then she hears on her walkie-talkie and we all hear it. And they said, do you know where Adoni Maropis is? And she goes, who's that? And she goes something like, he's playing our Quan Chi, but he's here visiting, and we don't know where he's at. He should be at lunch with us, or something like that. And she and these guys hear this, right? The whole table I'm sitting with, and she goes, "Is there an Adoni Maropis in here?" And they all looked at her, and they all pointed to me like this. And she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to yell at you." I said, "No, it's okay." And these guys are just laughing. But it was like, come on, man. Everybody at that table, every extra, not everybody, but most people want to be something else typically than an extra, right? They want to be a director, producer, actor, something. Give them respect. Not only give them respect in food, give them respect as human beings, and don't treat them as cattle. So, it was just one of these things that it was just funny, This one's like, oh, I'm sorry. After she's yelling at me the whole time, hurry up and eat and eat and eat. So yeah. That was my first introduction to Florida and studio right there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was always talking to extras. I made friends with them, and
That's really cool.
Yeah. I learned that from Vigo when worked at Hidalgo. Not learned it, but it's the only time I ever saw someone that reminded me of like myself, is that he would sit with extras. When we had lunches on Hidalgo, they would be 2 hours long because Vigo refused to cut line. So we'd have 300 extras, Vigo's standing behind all of them, And I don't think that necessarily was the wise thing because our days were longer, right? But Vigo refused to cut, so no one cut in line. It wasn't like, Adoni, you got to get up. Because I always started in the back of the line, and then they, the ADs come around and say, Adoni, you got to move up. And I'm like walking through everybody. I'm sorry, guys, they got to get me through here, and I got to eat and get them, all that stuff. So, But Vigo refused, so we had these long lunches, and he'd sit with everybody and talk to them. And yeah, I love that. Love that about Vigo. So
Well,
yeah.
I'm sure by then they had a lot of the extras had questions about Lord of the Rings and whatnot.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they did. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. But Vigo's very easy. He's just a great guy. Just a great guy. So when you're with Vigo, you always think he's like in a sense, like the lowest person there because he's never, you know, he's a funny guy, but he's never acting like he's above anybody, never acting like he's the man, or never, ever, never, never. So
It's funny when you watch certain actors on screen because the especially good ones, I think their actual persona, or at least their essence, shows through whichever character that they're doing. And I feel like, well, Matt's seen Lord of the Rings much more than me, but when I would see Aragorn on screen, I don't want to make it sound like I'm a super big fan of Lord of the Rings, but in my casual viewings of it, I've noticed that Viggo Mortensen, in a lot of ways, he's pretty well channeling himself, but he's still, just doing his version of this character.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the way you described him that's pretty well the vibe I got from seeing him.
Yeah, he really puts himself into every character, and he's an artist. He's a complete creative soul.
Mm-hmm.
I see myself like that too. No matter what I do, athletically or whatever, the way I work out, I don't go to a gym. I do these wacky workouts in my yard,
Mm-hmm.
Creating, and I creating. I like it, There's a point to me where Picasso or Da Vinci, they may have gone to a class and may have done this and that, but there's a point where they say, you know what? I'm just going to create. I know what I'm doing, and I'm just going to do what I feel like doing and make it my own, So that's how I feel. I think a lot of, Vigo's funny. Sometimes he'll create, and he'll, like when he used to draw something or take a picture, say, Donnie, what do you think of this? What do you think? What do you think? And sometimes I didn't get it at all, and he'd explain. I'm like, oh, he just, it's like, how is this? What do you think? And yeah, so
That's awesome.
I love that about him. He's got this little kid in him, but he's got everything. He's got everything going on there. But
I mean, that's the key to, I think, also to being a good actor, is having that kid side. And
yeah, you got to be free, open, and yeah.
Yeah.
I remember they did that. What was that movie? The two gay cowboys. You guys remember that one?
Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, and they were talking about Vigo and Brad Pitt being the leads, and they interviewed Vigo, and they said, "What do you think about that?" And I remember Vigo saying, "Wow, that'd be really cool to get into Brad Pitt." And I was like, "Wow, isn't that something that he would say that?" But I love that. I love that he was like, "Man, that'd be something to like work with Brad Pitt and get into that whatever it is we got to do." It's just like, it was like, wow, that's an interesting, but that's good. Man. He just loves creating and loves pushing the envelope, and he's an actor, man. He's an actor's actor. He's, say there's a actor's director. He's an actor's actor. It's, you got to let go, become it and do it. And, yeah. So. Yeah.
So, I guess the last couple of questions I have revolving around Mortal Kombat would be, so, first thing, do you remember anything from the script, from the third script at all, Mortal Kombat 3? Like anything in particular that caught your eye, like, oh, that'd be cool if like that could happen for, my character?
No, I just remember Quan Chi was the villain, and I was just thinking, wow, it'd be so fun to create this. I don't remember specifically where it went or what it, you're talking 20 years,
Yeah.
So I just remember being excited about the possibility. Mm-hmm. They wanted me for Quan Chi. It was like they wanted me for the movie, and then again, just like the series, which was kind of, thrown out there to me, like they're gonna have another series with me as the villain. It was like, that didn't happen. The movie didn't happen. And I kept thinking, well, maybe then as, time goes on, you're thinking, well, what are the possibilities? They would still want me as Quan Chi.
Yeah.
But I would love to do it, that's for sure. But I don't remember anything specific about it. Maybe if you put me under hypnosis, I'd be able to,
Recite the entire script.
yeah, I'd recite the entire script. And so just get a watch and start going like this, and I go.
I mean, I figured not, but I didn't know if. So the final question be, so like you said, so the show's over. It didn't happen, but 20 years later, Quan Chi appears on YouTube, in which the coincidence of Richie becoming almost fanboying over this incident.
I'm not gonna lie, I made Quan Chi my desktop wallpaper just this past week.
So after watching our videos, you mean, or before that, or was it?
I mean, it was really after all that, and then once I realized Quan Chi in fact does exist in this realm, I gotta pay tribute.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. This happened because last Christmas, not last, but the previous, 2019, no, 2018. Yeah. For some reason, I was home, and my niece is really good with makeup. Her name is Adoni Maropis. She's going to school she's wants to be a doctor, but she's an amazing artist. She draws, photographs, whatever, videos, but she also does faces. She does a lot of things with faces, and a lot of things with faces. And I don't know what happened. Christmas time, I don't know if she said it or I said it, and she said, like, I want to put you in Quan Chi makeup, or I said it. And we took the day, and she put me in Quan Chi makeup, and it was like, oh my God, like Quan Chi lives, he's alive. So then I remember the whole day I was in this, and we Skyped with my brother who lives in Greece, in Crete, with his family.
Wow.
So I was the whole time I'm Quan Chi, and I'm I'm going up and down as Quan Chi, and it was just a blast. And then we decided to do the video, of course. I don't know if that was the reason we did the video first, just to say Merry Christmas. And then through that, it was amazing because fans would write, and I would literally get fans writing saying, "I love you so much. I've been in love with Quan Chi for my whole life, and blah blah blah, and to see you on here." And someone say, "I just can't believe that I logged in, did a search on Quan Chi, and then this came up that just the other day you made this, and he's alive, and he's there, he's still around, And it's just great that I can put a smile on someone's face, like quite a few people out there, right, and around the world. So
yeah, I
and
mean,
it's more and more coming, like more and more coming on board. I think the people like on Facebook or on that, like I think a lot of those are like, oh geez, Quan Chi again. But the fans who are really fans are out there, like, wow, bring us more Quan Chi stuff. So I'm just having fun with it, and I love it because I love being Quan Chi, Anyway, yeah.
By the way, the skits, the scenarios you put Quan Chi are absolutely brilliant.
Oh, thank you.
I think my favorite's the drive-through. I think that's my favorite.
Yeah, I was a little. Yeah, my brother made me nervous because he made all these rules beforehand. He agreed to let his daughter do it and all that. And he was filming, and he didn't want to get anybody on tape. No one else besides us, and he was concerned about just a lot of things. So it made me a little nervous, but we just had fun. Were you the ones that liked the part when I said something like, what did I say? What did I say? I want a Big Mac, or I forget. Whatever I said, and I said, and a large fry, or something like that. I said, I don't know. It's just fun stuff, man. Yeah, it's fun.
the one in the grocery store is pretty good too.
Yeah. See, I personally, the grocery store is funny as hell. The slaves did very well. Yeah, the slave. The tall one is my niece. She's the one that kind of started it all, and she's the one that juggled. Did you see the juggling one too?
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, that one makes me laugh. It's because it was just spur them up. It was one of these things we didn't plan it out. All we did was say, I'm going to be juggling, and I'll give you the juggling ball. But all the dialogue, whatever happened, it was not rehearsed. It was just hilarious to me. That's great. It's very memorable for me being with my niece, you know. So
Of course,
great.
that's
Great stuff. Yeah.
well, for us too. Filming is also huge part of our bonding time.
Yeah, great, great. Well, you guys say you're flying people in. I mean, you're flying people in. I mean, you're paying money and all that stuff, or what?
I mean, so it's still small budget stuff, but actually the next thing that we're working on is going to be a lot bigger. I mean, so the first thing that we did, I mean, it was literally, we were like, okay, we don't want to go, work our way up. We want to do our own thing. And so we thought, why don't we do our own, version of Batman? We both like Batman. Why don't we do that? And all of a sudden we got casting agencies like picking this up and left and right. We're like, okay, this is, getting a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
I was getting phone calls from people in Japan, like at like 3:00 in the morning.
Wow.
And I'm like, all right, this is getting a little bit bigger. And so we did the first episode, and it got a good amount of views, a good response. And then, all right, okay, we got to make the second episode, the final episode, bigger, in which we got onto our websites, like Screen Rant and other websites like that. And so we're about ready to release that this year.
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, well, we're done with fan film-esque stuff because we don't want to do that for the rest of our life. So now the next step is we're doing our own project, our own, I guess, would it be IP? Yeah. I always think of IP as music, but yeah. So we're doing our own IP with a lot bigger budget where we want to be able to pay everyone on board to make sure that we can bring the best product. But also, because it's a web series, so it's like 10-minute episodes.
Yeah. Well, it sounds great, man. I mean, what I saw with you guys, like, this is like the third, interview I've done in like, I don't know, 3 months or something, for this thing. And you guys are, your website, everything, I can tell it's above and beyond anything that I've seen, anybody else. Everyone else is kind of new and, really, just starting out, and you guys have a really nice thing going. It seems to me. I see. So,
Thank you.
Yeah, it shows a lot of class, and so I'd definitely be interested in anything you guys are doing. And you guys seem like great guys, and
Well,
so.
that's actually curious, or that's actually funny because there was a character that it just so happened in this show that we're working on. It's kind of similar to Quan Chi.
Yeah.
And we did not even write it for you, but we haven't even started casting. We haven't even finished writing the entire show, and so I'm not gonna,
Yeah.
But if you want some way down the road, I'll send it your way, and if you like it, cool. But
yeah, send it. Please do. That'd be great. It'd be great to see it. Take a look at it.
I'm very old school. I mostly look at theater actors because they usually give bigger performances.
Yeah.
And they bring something different to the table. And so I get a lot of that. And also another thing is just like my background is obviously martial arts and old school martial art filmmaking. So I focus a lot on that type of storytelling. But when we're done, we'll send it your way.
Yeah, man, do it. Yeah, sounds great.
So, is there anything you're working on right now? Is there,
Yeah, Actually, I'm attached to quite a few projects. I just did a short where I play this a really interesting character. He's a Hermit of Light. So he's a guy that, it's an interesting character, being a Hermit of Light. When you think of a hermit, you think of someone in his cave, those places. But he's all about having lights on in his house, having lights on him all the time. And so he's kind of a hermit, but in light. So it's an interesting character. We'll see where that's going. It's in the editing process right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's a movie I just got, I was asked to do, but again, it all depends on getting money. These movies are big and they're done by people who don't have the money at the moment. So whatever.
Yeah.
There's a TV show. There's nothing really I can tell you that is going to come out anytime soon.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is a script that I wrote with my father. It's our passion piece, and it involves World War II in filming in Crete, Greece. That's where I'm from, basically Crete heritage, but it involves sort of the subject matter that, sort of a father, elevating his son, spreading love instead of hate, throughout the world. And that's what my father did for me. So it's a big picture, universal theme that I think we really need in this world today. To me, the only way you change the world is if you change the minds of the children, and so they don't, keep doing the same cycle that we have been doing for centuries and centuries now. So we have to change that. That's the only way you're going to change the world. So it involves that. So it's like a mini epic of sorts. We just got a director, so it's moving. I have a producer and we got a director, and so we'll see where it goes. We just got to get money. So if you guys know anybody with a lot of money, hey man, tell them we got a great movie that needs to be made to elevate the world.
Yeah, we're working on that ourselves.
I know everybody is. So I know. Yeah, I don't know. How do you guys do it? How do you put your stuff together?
Usually it's either with our own money, and this time it's going to be several different things involved. It's going to be crowdfunding, investors, our own money. And so for the money doesn't come from one part. But the other thing that we've also been focusing on is our fan base, because we believe that our fans are the things that obviously make this thing work. Yeah. And so what we've been trying to the last couple of months is really get to know our fans and make them feel a part of this more than ever before, because I honestly think without them, we won't be able to make what we want to make.
Oh, yeah.
So it's several different things that we're combining together and not just seeking out investors or grants or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good, very good. Speaking of fans, I had it was a couple years ago. I accidentally deleted all my videos and everything because I deleted Google. I didn't realize that Google was associated with YouTube.
Oh, shoot.
And I did it because someone had contacted me through a Google email where I had my phone number, and they were stalking me. So I had to delete everything. And again, I deleted all my. And I had like thousands of hits on my workouts and things like that. So I had to put them back up. But then, now there's, it's like, and I wish I can get back what I had before, but I don't know. I don't know how, even if I can do that, but that was a couple years ago. Yeah. So I had to put everything back up. But yeah, to me, I don't understand all this technology, and it's just not my thing. You know what I mean? As you can tell from my interview with you guys. Well, it's like one little mistake. Google scares me so much. Oh man, it's like it's like I click on and like I realize they have all my information about everything on here. Like, how do I stop this? So then I delete things, and I realize, oh, I deleted all the information from my phone. How did I do that? I was on the computer. Crazy. You know what I mean? It's like
Google used to be. Google's former life was Big Brother in 1984. So there you go.
Yeah. So anyway, it's scary to me. It's all this information that's out there, and it's like, oh, yeah. So, anyway.
Well, there's good and bad to it, because the one thing is like for you now, you're able to reach your fans again.
Yeah.
Which obviously the internet was existing, in the early to late 90s, early 2000s, but it's definitely a lot easier to make your fans realize, oh, they're like me, but also get kind of the same thing with them, get to know your fans, because there's certain fans, like there was this one fan of ours, he'd been talking to us for a couple years, and I realized I hadn't talked to him for about a year. I was like, I wonder what happened to him, and I messaged him, he messaged me in like 5 minutes. He was like, "Oh, I'm doing really good," and all of a sudden we just started hitting up again. I'm like, wow, that was crazy. You'd think after a year of like not hearing from someone, it'd take a little bit longer than 5 minutes, but it was really cool just to see like, how much they care.
Yeah. And what's cool too is seeing the same people commenting on every new video that we put up.
Yeah.
And so we've seen some delays in release for Batman Master of Fear, the full movie.
Yeah.
And so every time it happens after we've announced a release date, we feel bad for the fans, and so it feels extra good when the same ones will comment on a new video and say, we can't wait for this to come up. We're really excited for this. We're going to be there the day it drops.
Instead of asking, when is it coming?
Yeah. You know what? Can I ask you? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, that was it.
Oh, I want to ask you, do you have any issues with rights for Batman at all?
So with this, it's very loose.
Yeah.
Because we're not selling the product, we're not making any money off it. So therefore, because it's considered,
it's technically under fair use since there's a clause in there called the transformative clause. So parodies like Weird Al can get away with that, but obviously what we're not doing is really a parody, but it's still something very different. But I think the overriding factor is we're not making profit off of it. Technically, I guess YouTube, could slam us with a copyright claim, and then the worst that would happen is we'd have to take it down. But since we're not monetizing it, it's
interesting. I'm curious because a lot of people are asking about Quan Chi, and I say, well, as long as you use it in a way that's funny, that's comedic, you can get away with anything. You're
totally.
Well, actually, you could even do a serious one if you wanted to.
Really?
Well. Yeah, if you wanted to do a short film of Quan Chi, you could, because if you're not in it for, I'm going to monetize this, no one's going to care, because at the end of the day, it's just advertisement for Warner Brothers, for NetherRealm's Mortal Kombat. The same thing with Batman. They view it as a good thing.
Well,
So
no, I understand. It's interesting. I just know that you can put anything up as long as it's a comedic, satire, parody of some sort, but it's meant for laughs, right? Meant for laughs. You can do anything you want. It's like a comic standing up and imitating somebody or something. So that you're allowed.
Yeah.
Now, I remember when Barack Obama had a birthday and they sang Happy Birthday.
Mm.
The rights to Happy Birthday, they had to pay like, I don't know what it was. Was it $1,500 or something for that one? That's why when you go to a restaurant and you order a meal and it's your birthday, they don't sing Happy Birthday. They sing some other version of Happy Birthday because it's the right. So I don't understand how it all works. I just know that when it comes to YouTube and all that, as long as you use it in a some we talked about funny way, you're allowed to. So I wanted to make sure that Quan Chi was done in a fun way, and to me, he's always funny. I always saw him as a funny guy.
Do you remember the Punisher movie from 2004 with Thomas Jane and John Travolta?
Oh, I do kind of, but I don't remember it. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Well, it's fine. Basically, the movie became a cult hit. It wasn't really a box office smash, but I bring it up because Thomas Jane, he's a fan favorite as Punisher.
Yeah. He loves Punisher.
He loves Punisher. And so what he did like 7-8 years ago is he made a short fan-made film. It was called Punisher Dirty Laundry. But he has called it Dirty Laundry, and Ron Perlman was in it, and they even used this part of the score from The Dark Knight, and this thing got like 8 million views, and it's up to this day, and it was not anything sanctioned by Marvel.
And it's a very serious take on the Punisher. He burns a person alive.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. I guess it. It also like 24.
Mhm.
in years where 24 would not allow anything of 24 on there. So I'd have my acting reel, and I would attempt to put it up, and I'd try to sneak it in, and they'd catch it. And
Dang.
just last year, I put it up, and I said, you know what? And YouTube contacted me, and they said that it's being reviewed by Fox right now. So they're looking at it, and then they came back and said, well, because you're using it for the use of like a acting reel or whatever, you're allowed to use it. Otherwise, you would not be allowed to use it. And it's always 24. Everything else is fine, but 24 Fox, they're like, no. So
Yeah, certain companies are very bad with that. Like for instance, a lot of Spider-Man fan films exist, but if you try to touch the X-Men, like you'll get hit pretty hard.
Yeah. Interestingly, even when Star Wars was technically owned by Fox still, that probably had the most fan films made of it besides Star Trek.
Yeah.
And Batman. And I think Star Wars even has their own fan film festivals.
Yeah, like ever since early 2000s, they've had Star Wars fan films where people would flood them. And there's even like here in Atlanta, there's a thing called Dragon Con.
Yeah.
It's a big convention, and one of the things that they hold is a fan film festival where people can send in their fan films and can win prizes off of it.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's a big world, that fair use clause.
Yeah.
So, if you love playing Quan Chi as much as what you do, which I know you do, it's definitely worth exploring other routes.
Yeah, I've been thinking about, because I've been talking. I told you guys, didn't I tell you, Rich? I was supposed to do this interview, this Quan Chi, and it was like I think it was right before Christmas or something. I heard this guy wrote to me, and then he told me about this costume. They call them cosplay.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? First time I ever heard about this. These guys dress as Quan Chi, and they go to these events, I was like, wow. And so anyway, so I had this interview, and I was supposed to hook up with this cosplay, because I was thinking I would like to get the outfit for Quan Chi. That'd be great. So anyway, I get contacted by this guy, and so I set up this interview, right?
Yeah.
So I talked to this guy, and I said, as we're talking, I said, you might want to record this. I'm giving you some good stuff. He goes, oh, okay. So he does something and records the thing. I talked to this guy for an hour and a half, okay? And I said, are you still recording? And he says, oh, no, I turned it off a long time ago. I said, why'd you turn me? He goes, Adoni, I'm not an interviewer. I'm not here to record. I said, what are you talking about? He goes, I'm a cosplayer. I just dress as you. And I said, you serious? This is not an interview? He goes, no, I love your character. I love, the way you played it. And I dress as Quan Chi, and I go, he says, can I bring my friends over and we can do this again?
Oh, God.
Like next week. I'm like, oh my God. And then he goes, let me show you the outfit. And he brought out this outfit, and I was like, but this guy's written to me many times, and we're friends now on Facebook. But I was like, wow, I gave this guy an hour and a half of like my best stuff. And he didn't really care. He just was asking me like, the buttons that you had on that outfit, what was that made of? And I'm like, buttons, and then he'd always bring it back to, what was that thing on the side of your? I was like, I don't remember. He goes, and what kind of boots did you wear? I said, did I wear boots? Like, I don't remember. But these guys are so into the outfit and making it right, and what he had was beautiful, and it was great. I wish I had what he had, but it was like, oh my God, that was so funny, man.
So I have an idea for Quan Chi.
Yeah.
So I feel like Quan Chi should go back to his roots of MGM Studios, and because they've completely remodeled it, I feel like he'd be upset, and I feel like it'd be a fun way for Quan Chi. Who knows what Quan Chi would do at MGM Studios?
You know what? Actually, I was sent something, a new image of Quan Chi from this guy, and he had a picture of Quan Chi, but he has these like red tattoos on his head, and I'm like, what the heck? Like that? Don't do that to Quan Chi. And I just like that kind of irks me. I was like, that's not at least not my Quan Chi,
Yeah.
I like that. Just the character comes from everything else. It's like this look, and then anyway, it just.
I mean, that's a lot of times what they do with characters is like after a while they just kind of add stuff to it just to do something new. It's like when when a franchise has gotten so many times, like, well, let's just add this just because.
Let's get a Terminator a beard.
Yeah, it's like I don't like that. Yeah, to me it doesn't work. But whatever. Hey, because I was trying to find a doll. Like I'm looking. There's all these Quan Chi dolls you can buy. And,
What? Really?
Yeah. And I just was looking for one that closely more resembled me. But it's like there's just some that are close, whatever. But all the red tattoos, those ones kind of fit me. But I was like, no, get the damn red. I'm gonna have to paint it if I buy it. Paint it damn.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. What's that?
Take up a new hobby of a paint shop, but only just erasing the red on all the Quan Chi dolls. Buy them in bulk and
send your dolls to me, and I will erase them for you.
I'll authenticize them.
That's right. Exactly. I'll sign my name instead.
So you said that Quan Chi is your roommate? Like, what are you talking about?
Well, you know what? I guess it's okay to bring this up now after 20 years. But everybody always thought that, and I hate admitting this, but since 20 years, hey, I don't want it to be on my deathbed. I may as well tell you guys have been really nice and all that, but excuse me, Quan Chi is actually my housemate, and yeah, you know what? I'm just going to call him over because he's been listening to part of this interview, and he's kind of upset at a few things that I said. And I don't know what it is, but him, he kind of goes up and down. Hey, Quan. Yes. This interview. Would you like to come in and do this interview with these guys? Yeah. Okay, he's walking over. I'm not sure how his mood is, so just relax.
Sure.
Yes, Adoni, what is it? These guys want to do an interview with you. What kind of interview? Just an interview. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's a big deal to me because I just don't talk to anybody. Okay, just relax. Come on, relax. It's just a simple interview. These guys are really nice guys, okay? Just take a deep breath. I don't take deep breaths. All right. Where are they? I want to see them. Okay, well, just hold on. I mean, they're not the best-looking guys in the world. I'm just saying. But, just don't get upset. I know you're used to beautiful slaves and all that, but let's just, yeah. You guys mind showing yourself?
Not at all.
Okay, just Quan.
Can you see us?
I usually say fabulous, but it's not quite that fabulous. How can I help you?
So we're actually part of a production company over here in Atlanta, Georgia, and we've actually been watching.
Can you stop? Yeah. Can you stop saying It's kind of irritating.
We apologize.
Absolutely, I'm sorry. So we are filmmakers from Atlanta, and we became huge fans of Mortal Kombat Conquest, and we were absolutely delighted to hear that you're actually roommates with Adoni.
Well, that is fabulous.
How long
presented? Don't interrupt me when I'm talking to you. Go ahead.
I just was really curious. How long have you guys been roommates?
Oh, well, we've been roommates for about 20 years. Well, he went to the audition for Quan Chi, and then I went to do the part as Quan Chi. Does that make sense to you?
Makes total sense. Yes, sir.
Fabulous. And who's the guy beside you with the long, what is that, blonde hair?
It's red. It's like a reddish blonde.
You actually play a very cute slave as a woman. Did you ever dress as a woman? I think you would look good as a slave, as a woman.
I've actually dressed up as a woman twice.
Yeah, we made a lot of films over the years.
Ah, I see. Yes. Oh, I like the way you pushed your hair aside. Kind of remind me of my slave, Jamie Presley. Yes. She actually was the slave. It wasn't the slave playing the slave. It was Jamie Presley playing the slave, where I was playing Quan Chi. It was me. It was actually Quan Chi. Yes.
Oh, that makes sense.
What I like about you is you actually have one eye from what I see. Interesting. Oh, there's the other eye. Now I see you. I'm sorry.
There we go.
Yes.
Apologies.
So, did you ever have any discrepancies with the producers or anyone about you not being credited as playing yourself? Or did you mean to have a cover, an alias?
I meant to have a cover, or otherwise I would have done some really horrible things to the producers. I didn't want to be seen. I just wanted to have my slaves and enjoy them and enjoy Shao Kahn and Raiden and all these other ridiculous human beings. Even though he says he wasn't a human being, he was a human being. He was Jeff Meek, a rather timid, frail human being. And he sucks at basketball too.
Oh, you played him in basketball.
Yes. Yes. He
I'm
complained like little. Don't interrupt me.
I'm sorry.
Speak.
So Adoni even lied about playing basketball. So is he good at basketball?
Who?
Adoni.
Adoni is fabulous. He's fabulous at everything. If I was a human being, I would be Adoni. He is spectacular in everything he does. Absolutely. We kind of look like brothers, actually. It's just that he is a live human flesh form of me without the white makeup and the lines and all that sort of thing, you know?
I noticed that, especially during your fight scenes.
Yes, exactly.
So, speaking of which, what was your daily workout routine for those fights? Because I noticed you do a lot of flips.
Well, I'm a flipper, as they say. I can do whatever I want to do. I could have been juggling in those scenes and it still would have kicked his butt. Or whoever's butt I was kicking. It doesn't matter. Excuse me, I have a frog in my throat.
Okay.
I like eating frogs. They're kind of cool. I don't cook them. I just eat them. They're fun. Delicious.
Do you have a pond in the back?
No, I don't have a pond. When I want a frog, I just get a frog. I just have it appear. Is that a problem with you?
No problem at all. I was just curious. We've never been to LA, so we're not really sure how it goes.
It's obvious. Yes.
So I'm curious too. So you're living in LA. What was the transition like from the Nether Realm?
I just zap here. I zap there. What's the problem? It's very simple. Excuse me. Can I have the blonde ask me a question now? Can you think of a question fast enough that won't bore me? That won't send me back to the Nether Realm in the middle of this interrogation or whatever it is you guys call it? I guess you don't.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, me? Oh, me. Who would win in a basketball game? You or Adoni?
Well, I mean, I don't want to say because this is his house and I kind of live in the crawl space. Yes.
So you don't pay rent?
No, I don't pay rent. I just entertain. When Adoni has female friends over, I just kind of pick my slaves from there. And, you know, he enjoys watching me enjoy my time as Quan Chi. He kind of uses whatever I have shown him in the human way, if you know what I mean.
So what do you look for in a woman when you're doing your selection?
Attentive. Yes. Straight nose is very important to me, just because high cheekbones, and it doesn't really matter from there. Just nice and sweet to me, but evil to others. The ability to be evil to whomever I want her to be evil to. Yes. Now you're shaking your head. Is there a reason for that? Are you sick? Are you about to throw up? What's happening to you?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Oh, I was just nodding, just taken in your answer, and I also wanted to know what Florida was like.
Okay, but saying I don't like Are you afraid to talk to me? Is that what's happening right now? Because you need to man up. If you have a question, just ask the question. I'm not here to hurt you. Okay? Now ask your question again.
Did you like Florida?
I loved Florida. Yes, I loved Florida because I got to play me and show the world who the real Quan Chi is. And I gave credit to my fellow American Adoni Maropis, who was fabulous in getting the part because he observed me. Yes. You're shaking your head again. Are you sick? Now you're smirking. Are you smirking at me? Are you laughing at me?
You just keep saying I'm shaking when I'm just nodding.
You're nodding, shaking, nodding. Okay.
Nodding in agreement.
Don't snap at me. Now go ahead. Ask another question.
Who was your favorite director on Conquest?
Particularly, I don't need a director. I don't care for directors. I just do my thing. So, who directed the shows? I'm assuming there were 4 directors, but I don't recall any of them. And yes, I don't have an answer for you there. I'm sorry. Did that hurt your feelings? Did that hurt your feelings?
Well, we were just thinking about certain directors such as Bruce Seth Green.
Oh, I love Bruce.
Yes.
There was Charles Siebert. Who else was there?
Well, I did like Bruce. Bruce was the one who told me that, how do you see this character? And I was like, how do I see myself? It's kind of a silly question. But then I told him I want to sit. And he said, yes. That's why I like Bruce. Simply the fact that he agreed with me right from the start. And that's what set my character into this show.
It's always good to be on the same page.
Yes. Although I didn't have any pages. I just spoke my lines. They gave me some sort of script, but I didn't follow it. There was no script for me.
You improv'd.
I just do my thing. And the slaves had to respond. Yes.
So, you didn't stay on script at all?
I never saw a script. I just do me. They gave me a script, but I ripped it up. I zapped it to pieces. I said, heck with this, whatever that is. I am Quan Chi, and I know what I'm doing. And I must have frightened Bruce. What's his name? Bruce what? Bruce
Seth Green.
Yes, him. And he just let me do my thing. And Jamie Presley backed me, so that helped as well. Jamie, I love Jamie. I actually made her face into that. I fried her face in front of everybody, and then I brought her back. It was fabulous. Fabulous.
Oh, yeah, where part of her skull is showing all the way through the black of the eye.
I can still smell that to this day.
I have a question. So, we haven't seen you in for 20 years. What have you been doing since Conquest, between Conquest and resurfacing back on the internet?
Oh, I've just been going to other realms, more interesting realms, with more interesting forms of life, experimenting with different lives in the sense of slaves, not just females. I was using, ignops and sognops and wigglewops and things like that. It's fabulous to have these slaves, which your mind is too small to understand what I'm talking about, but it's just fabulous having slaves from all galaxies and all worlds from everywhere. Yes.
I guess when you have all eternity to do that, you can, take your time.
Well, you are pretty smart, after all. Do that thing with your hair again. I like that. Oh, fabulous. Yes.
Digging just a little bit deeper, if that's all right.
Mm.
What has been the most fulfilling moment of your life?
The day I met Adoni, he has made my life. He's such a fabulous man, very spiritual, he has a great heart and soul, a very loving human being, something rare on this planet, People see me as the arch villain, the ultimate villain, but inside, I'm a very sweet, loving spirit. And I don't understand why people can't grasp that. I mean, you guys can feel it through the screen, I'm sure, because Adoni has told me how sweet I am when I decide to be sweet. And right now, just the mere fact that I'm speaking to you, two boneheads, forgive me, but the fact that I'm giving you my time makes me very sweet, lovable. And do not tell me that you want to give me a hug, because that's not going to happen.
No, that was very well put.
You either, Blondie. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions?
I think that's all. Which, I mean, I don't want to take too much of Quan Chi's time.
Of course. We did want to play just one little game, if that's possible. It's a word association. Where basically we just say a word, and with all of your knowledge and experiences, you shoot a word right back to us. Whatever first thing that comes to your mind.
Is this a Mensa test? Because I'm beyond Mensa. I just want to say that ahead of time.
I understand. No, I'd say this is beyond Mensa.
Beyond Mensa. I like that. Beyond Mensa could be a TV show. Go ahead.
Yes.
So let's start off simple. Quan Chi.
Fabulous.
Adoni.
Fabulous.
L.A.
Oh, that was it.
That's my answer.
Raiden.
Meek.
That's
Oh,
actually pretty good.
That was a good one, Quan Chi.
I think that's it. I mean, I can't think of any others. I mean, you stumped us.
Well, obviously I stump everyone, so it's okay. You don't need to cry.
Well, we were honored to talk with you tonight, and
I'm sure.
So thank you very much, and we will let you get back to your evening.
I'll give you back to Adoni. The pleasure is all yours.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope I didn't scare you too much as Quan Chi, because I kind of challenged you a little bit there. But...
No, I enjoyed that because I was like, oh crap, I am saying a lot, and then now you're challenging my manhood, so it actually snapped me into the scene more. Now I had a goal to just sound, less immature and be taken seriously by someone who could kill me in a snap.
Well, I also liked your compliments on my hair, so.
When I went to the drive-through, it was Quan Chi. I told you, when I ordered the meal and the large fry, she said the price, and I didn't hear it. So I said something like, "What was that again?" And she didn't answer. And I said, "What is the price?" Like that, and my friend was filming, and then she came back with the price, and you could tell she was scared. And it was like I felt bad about that, but it was like, that's what Quan Chi would do. So then when we drove up to the window, I was thinking, man, this woman's going to be so frightened of me. But I did say thank you or something like that. And I walked up and she was laughing and I was so happy. But I deleted that part because I was like, oh, I don't want people to think that I'm out going around scaring little girls, working at McDonald's. But so I cut that part out. But yeah, I did. I said, what is the price? Oh
I
man.
you don't get that a whole lot, like on a drive-through, just someone like on a set just get.
Yeah, yeah. You could tell she was having fun with it, but then I could tell I scared her a little bit. It was like, oh man, 'cause she hadn't seen us yet. She was, we were at the microphone there. So anyway, so
Wow.
you guys, what do you got? You guys got any other questions or?
I mean,
I mean, we've answered everything about Mortal Kombat Conquest. I didn't want to touch too much on Hidalgo or any of that stuff, really, just because we can save that for another time.
yeah. And I think for next time too, we can talk more about just your ping pong endeavors. I mean, with winning the world championship and the national championship. And
Yeah, it's whatever you guys want. I could talk forever about Hidalgo. That was 10 months of work. It was
dang.
well, it was like eight months, but we took off for Christmas, and I mean, like it just was a long thing. It was like from December to mid-January or something. We started. I mean, it was August through like March or April the next year or something like that. We filmed in Morocco, then here. And
So
I mean,
so Vigo was doing that at the same time as I guess mainly
Doing
Return of the King.
Well, he was doing reshoots of Return.
well, he was done with that. I don't. He might have had reshoots after, but he was done with it, and then we started Hidalgo. Yeah, but I don't want to get all that, but
Sure.
I
Yeah.
did say something. I forget what it was. Yeah, there's a lot you could talk about. Obviously, someone's life.
Ever since we found that getting in touch with Jeff Meek was possible, we thought, like, how are we going to get in touch with Adoni? Because we couldn't find you on Twitter or Facebook. And
You couldn't find me on Facebook? You couldn't find me on Facebook? I'm on Facebook.
I think it's also because we both don't use it a whole lot,
Yeah.
so we're almost losing how to do it.
yeah.
Okay. I'm on
And then on your website, I was like, well, I don't really know where to go. And then we see you on YouTube, and then I was like, well, I know one other place that I actually use more. And sure enough, you're on Instagram.
But again, my niece controls that. Like I rarely look at Instagram. Everything on Instagram, like she has done for me. Like I've never added anybody or done. She can look at it and all that, but I didn't do Instagram. I don't know how people do all this stuff. How do you stay up on Instagram?
Oh wait, so
But no. I responded to you. It was me.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like I never look at it, but every once in a while I'll notice like a ring come in or something, and I did happen to see yours, and I did. But sometimes she will respond for me. But no, I did with you. I did. Because I saw the red fist, and I noticed that I had responded to you on YouTube. But I want to ask you, how did you find me on YouTube? How did you find the videos? How did they come to you? How?
So that's what I'm asking Richie as well.
So there's the Mortal Kombat Conquest fan site, and it was during my crusade to find as much out about the show as possible.
Yeah.
That I went to that, and it's not too updated of a site, but lo and behold, the last update was from December of 2018, and it was the first Quan Chi video that you mentioned. It was like Quan Chi wishes you a Merry Christmas from the Nether Realm or something.
Okay.
And so I go to that, and I'm like, oh, this guy's a YouTube page. And so I check it out, and lo and behold, you had just put up a new video 2 days ago, and I couldn't believe my eyes. And it was the one that was a juggling one. And then we watched a couple of more episodes of Conquest, and then like a week later, I just get on YouTube just to check my own stuff, and then in my feed, like less than an hour ago, you had uploaded the drive-through video, and I'm like, something coinky dinky is at work here. So Matt kept telling me, you have to contact him, you have to find a way. And I'm like, I can't find an email address on his YouTube channel. He could be Quan Chi. I can't reach him.
Oh man, I have a website. You didn't see my website or anything.
So I went to your website, and I had sent a message through there, and I was like, well, maybe he didn't see the message. I don't know, maybe it just didn't go through. Like I didn't get a receipt that it had sent like you do sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't remember if I got that message from there. Huh.
I mean, it's totally fine, but I was like, okay, well, if Instagram doesn't work, I don't know how I'm gonna like. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to get in touch with Jeff Meek and be like, can you track down this Adoni?
That's crazy because with me, I'm so easy to find because you do a search on Adoni, you'll find me. There's no other really Adonis out there. There are some. I was the first one that had that name in the Screen Actors Guild, and then now I notice there's like all these names, but basically you just do Adoni and I'll come up. It used to be I'd be the first thing up there. Now I'm like maybe I don't know what I am now, but it was like fourth because Adoni is God. It means God. It means sir and God in Israel. But I remember looking it up years ago, and it was like I had just seen Passions of the Christ, and they were calling him Adoni, and my name is Adoni in Greek, Adoni. And I was like, oh my God, there's my name up on there. Jesus Christ is Adoni. So I look it up, and I swear to God, I look up Adoni, and it says Adoni Maropis, action movie star, and this and that. And I was like, then below it said Adoni, human form of God, and God is Adon. In my whole life, my brothers would call me Adon. I was like, oh my God, put me above God.
So literally, you were saying Jesus Christ, literally.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, wow. So I told my brother, I said, you guys know you've been calling me God my whole life? And anyway, it's just weird. But, yeah, so I'm pretty easy to find. So you telling me this is kind of shocking that you couldn't find me. Because
maybe I'm just not good at the internet.
Facebook and so anyway.
Well, I'm glad we did find you. Cause,
no, it's fun, man. You guys are great. And
you're great too.
Thanks. I hope I didn't I hope you're not gonna have nightmares if Quan Chi's gonna come and zap you or something like that. But
well, no, but I am gonna be more self-conscious of me saying thanks. So if he's listening, tell him I said thank you.
Okay. When I said that to you, I was thinking of Oprah Winfrey when I saw Barack Obama on Oprah Winfrey years ago, and everything he said, he's running for president. He's going, and blah 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 blah, blah 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 blah. And I guarantee you, Oprah Winfrey after the show said, Barack, you got to cut out the odds because you're going to be president of the United States. And as I'm saying that to you, that's how I felt. I was like, you got to quit saying, but of course I'm just in character playing this stuff. Anyway, great stuff, and let me know when it's done, obviously, and
of course,
we go from there. So I hope you guys had fun. It's been a little over, no, not quite 2 hours and about. 50
I told you this would be about 3 hours.
Yeah. So, all right, very good.
Yeah, we'll definitely be in touch. We'll get the script to you for what we're working on, and
great.
And then we'll be working on clips here, and if we go through with the trailer idea or just putting up just isolated clips, I'll definitely run it by you first, and we're gonna do the same thing with Jeff.
Okay.
Just to get the final listen instead of just
put it out and you guys are like, oh, I didn't want that in there.
Like, oh yeah, I did say that.
Yeah, there's a few things. Yeah, a few things. Yeah. So. Yeah, I don't know if you guys watch Sacha Baron Cohen. You ever see his stuff?
Oh yeah.
This is America.
Yep.
Oh my God, that is unbelievable. And people say, this is just between us, right? Like this isn't going to be on.
Actually, here I will. Here, let's end the podcast. Thank you for joining us, man. It was pretty awesome.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was awesome, as you say, and fabulous.
And we are back.
We're back. It's been a whole nother hour with Adoni, and you just had a few minutes.
About a year ago it was. But
you also got a few minutes with Quan Chi himself.
Yeah, and we apologize for the last month not dropping this episode.
We apologize.
What do you mean? What? All right. Anyway, so anywho, besides, don't listen to my jackass colleague.
Well,
He's just upset that everyone just makes him sound out to be John Wayne.
Well, either John Wayne or like I'm from a 40s serial.
So it's John Wayne and Owen Wilson doing a podcast together. Boy, would that be a show. Well, what do you...
Wow, I think this is really cool.
John Wayne. You know, I was in a Western too with Charlie Chan.
Well, I think you got your names mixed up there, dipshit.
Wow. Well, anywho,
We got 2 announcements.
we have 2 announcements. The first one, so the reason why we've taken a month off was because we were filming the entire time, or most of the time, for Demons Within, which is a short film that we are creating for you guys, which will be dropping in the next couple of months, the trailer. And the other big announcement, we cannot tell, but it has something to do with the person we just interviewed. So stick around for the next several episodes to come each Friday to get more news and obviously more interviews. See ya.
Goodbye.